Yo, what's going on, Dragon Ballers? Welcome back to another gameplay video. This time we have myself on the bottom playing an updated version of my red UI starter Goku deck list. I posted this on the channel, I want to say a few months ago when set 9 was the format, before set 10 obviously. This is updated with a lot more set 10 stuff. You'll notice the Janemba Unison in my hand. I'm also playing some of the new set 10 cards as well. On the top we have one of my patrons, James, playing Gotenks Apes. So we're going to see how a deck I've taken from the past and upgraded with set 10 cards interacts with an anniversary box style deck. We'll see how it goes. I'm a real big fan of this UI Goku deck, and this is one of the main reasons right here. Getting that 2-drop Goku on the board to then awaken your leader, that 15k crit, still drawing cards, very strong. And then now the 2-drop Goku is plus 10k because of its own effect. My leader also gives it an additional 5k, so that's a 31k swinger. Every single turn after that, as long as I don't choose to bring the Goku back to my hand with its own effect, it'll gain 5k from my leader swings, giving me actually a lot of value over the course of the game. But I think Apes is a pretty good archetype, especially with the Gotenks leader, one of the best generic leaders we've seen in a long time. Easily a very good, if not probably the best yellow leader at this point. I don't think many other yellow leaders have really stepped up to the plate. So guys, if you are new here while turn 2 is starting, make sure to subscribe, hit that bell so you don't miss a video. If you want to help the channel out, tons of ways down in the description to do so. Definitely check that out. So we'll see what James is able to do with his turn 2 here. He's going to swing Gotenks into leader, it looks like, actually into my battle card UI Goku. Either way, he's in a bit of a losing predicament just because he can't do damage to my leader. He's not big enough as a leader just yet until he awakens, and my Goku is 16k, which is actually quite relevant. Like, even if he wanted to swing his Bardock into my 2-drop Goku, he would lose on that trade because he'd have to combo up into it. So James going 15k into my leader here with the crit. Now that is a lose-lose situation for me because either I pitch a card to defend it or I take a damage and it is a critical, so I don't really get to gain very much on that exchange, unfortunately. But he's leaving up 2 energy, so you know your opponent's playing Apes, he leaves up 2 energy, you have to assume Raider's Warcry is coming in at some point. So we'll see how I opt to play around that. We're gonna go leader first into leader. Now here's the thing, I just mentioned playing around Raider's Warcry. He can easily Raiders and tap my 2-drop Goku, but the other way around, if I swing a 2-drop Goku first, I lose out on the 5k boost from my leader, and he gets Zamasu super combo to tap my leader, making me lose out on the draw and the crit. So I'd honestly rather play into the Raiders here than the Zamasu super combo. I would lose out much more if I got Zamasu super combo there. But now we come with the Unison crit, and this is actually the curve I want to hit with this deck. I do want to play my 2-drop Goku on turn 2, and I want to play my Unison on 3. And at this point, I'm feeling like I'm in a pretty good place right now. He does have more cards in hand than me. He does have a little bit more board presence than me. I guess technically equal board presence and more hand advantage. But I'm feeling to be in a pretty good place right now because my leader's awakened. I have my Unison established. We'll see if James can deal with all that pressure. Nice thing is, you'll notice I didn't charge a multi-turn one. You really don't need to charge a multi-turn one in this deck. You can do it later on in the game, then untap it with the Beerus super combo and then arrival into your coolers. So that works out quite well. So he's gonna play Planet Vegeta here. He's gonna search Raider's Warcry. Obviously a pretty solid search there. And now his blockers will restand as the game progresses. So he's gonna gain a lot of value on that. This is a really strong play by me though. I do have the after image to 1, stop his Bardock's crit attack, and 2, remove the Bardock negate that he just used, because he could have pretty easily just evolved like a Will of Iron on top of that, right? And I want to prevent that from happening. So that being the case, looking pretty solid for me once again, although he will go into an offensive Raiders, which can definitely hurt me depending on what happens here. So I'm going to actually Trunks it back to his hand. I do want to stop him from double strike, removing my Unison here. He is going to go into a last straw though, so he is going to still be able to remove my Unison. However, it is going to force him to go down to 3 life, which is definitely a very low territory, especially when you consider that my leader is putting crit pressure on him and my leader's at 6 life. So that being the case, I think I'm in a bit of a safer position than James is, even though comparatively I have half his hand size. I think that's a pretty interesting dynamic. He is killing me in the card advantage department. However, I am doing much better in the life department. So we'll see which one opts to provide more of an advantage. So he's going to Nimbus here, and I'm okay with that. I'm not really doing too much offensively on my turn. I don't really have any plans to do anything offensively here. So that's perfectly fine. He'll pitch 2. I'll clear a battle card off his board. And that brings the hand deficit a little bit closer. I am considering using Kaioken Goku, but to remove just the one ape is not worth it. So I think we'll leave up energy for defense. We'll pass back to James. He's charging to 4 here. Let's see what he can do. He's going to go potentially 15k crit. Looks like he'll swing with leader first. Not a problem. I'll take that. Go to 5. Luckily, we get a cooler Temerical Assault. That can definitely provide some good value coming up soon. He's got a 15k crit at my leader. We're going to super combo Beerus, untap the blue-red, arrival cooler. We are going to minus the Bardock. We're not going to be able to minus the Raiders because it's not in play yet, but that's fine. I don't want to take the crit, and I've established a pretty nice board presence here, so that's fine. Looks like James is going to opt to not tap my cooler with his Bardock. Instead, he'll tap it with the Bardock Father-Son, which is a very solid play. Free play. Get it onto the field. He can put Will of Iron on top of it if he has it. So we'll charge the 5 here. I think I'm pretty much done charging at this point. I believe this list that I have runs Fu Shroud and Mystery. So I think that'll be all we need for charging if we go to 5. Looks like actually I will choose to not charge because I am running kind of low on hand size. I don't quite need the 5th energy rather. So that's fine. I do use the Vegeta to clear his board here. I probably should have played Kaioken Goku instead because Vegeta has flexibility of being a counterplay, as where Kaioken Goku only board wipes when I play it on my turn. So it's probably a slight misplay, but not too bad. I don't think it's going to lose me the game or anything, but we'll see what happens as a result. So James is going to combo a Saiyan Instincts to not take the damage from the Vegeta. I'll go 15k crit into leader. James is looking to block this one. We have a 21k going in at his leader. Again, he is pretty low on life. So every swing here he has to really think about. He does go to 2 here. I do swing in with the cooler. However, I'm pretty hesitant to go all in for 2 reasons. One, he does have a bigger hand size than I do. But more importantly, he could be playing Vegeta's Final Flash. And if he were to drop that on me, my cooler would become a single strike. And he would take 1 damage. Not really... that would probably lose me the game right there. So I don't want to have that happen. I'll play the Frieza and tap out, knowing that I have the Beerus in my hand to super combo, get energy back up in a pinch if I need to. So he'll once again free play Father-Son Bardock. Definitely some solid pressure. Definitely solid the way he's recreating a board after I initially board wiped him. So he will go into Will of Iron here. Frieza Death Embrace is going to die. Will of Iron will swing into my leader, potentially putting me to 3. I think I'm okay with that, but maybe not. I guess we'll rival into cooler. No, this is a pretty good play as well. I could have taken 2 cards to hand, but instead of going too low on life, I'll use the cooler, which will render his other Bardock useless as well in terms of attacking. So he's going to swing 5k crit into my leader, then do nothing. You know, there's no reason not to because he'll restand with the Planet Vegeta anyway. So I guess he's seeing if I'll use a negate or anything of that sort. But this is pretty devastating here. I do have another board wipe followed up. And notice, I have 2 cards in my hand. Not a lot by any means, but my board presence is starting to become overwhelming. So we'll see if James has the appropriate defense to stop this. We'll see what goes on here. Topo going in at leader, looks like. He'll Zamasu super combo my leader down. Definitely hurts a lot, especially that I'm 2 cards in hand. 15k at his leader. He'll block with the Bardock. 20k double at his leader. Probably going to choose not to combo here on my end. He'll combo his SCR. I guess he's thinking he doesn't really have a great way to drop it this game. Or a great usage of it, rather. So 2 drop 16k going in as leader. And we will go back to James's turn here. So he's playing the King Vegeta Unison. If your leader card's yellow, go top 5 of your deck. You get to add an ape. He could go for the -4. Although that's going to require him to possibly have another copy of his Unison. Although it looks like James is going to scoop right there. So I think the back-to-back board wipes were pretty backbreaking against apes. And you don't really see red get too much play, right? I talked about this in the video earlier this week. Red is not seeing too much play in the format. But against certain strategies, of course, the deflect board wipes can be quite good. the Vegeta exploding weakness is going to be quite good. And I do think blue-red's a great color combination, you know, outside of Invoker. That's probably the one where it sees the most play. But I do think this Goku list is pretty interesting. If you guys want to see it, let me know in the comments below. I'll see what I can do about that. Thanks for watching. I'll see you guys next time.